A Wedding to Remember is a pretty good film. It got off to a bit of a slow start, but I'd say after about the half an hour-ish mark, it really picked up and I rather enjoyed it. This was released in 2021. It's directed by David I. Strasser, written by Victoria Rose, and we have a cast including Cristina Rosato as Olivia and Greyston Holt as Brian. And they're both going to a wedding, and they happen to meet on the bus there, and they don't get off to the best of starts, and it turns out that Brian is actually involved in a project that's going to really negatively impact a lot of people, including Olivia, because it's a development project that will change a lot of things. And needless to say, that's not a great way to start off their relationship. And then they get to the wedding, or to the destination at least, and they don't realise they're both in the wedding party, and one is the maid of honour, one is the best man. So of course they have no choice but to work together and help make sure the wedding runs smoothly. And I'll say no more than that. I liked it a lot. I thought the narrative worked really well. As I said, it was a little slow to begin with. I'd say by the time they got to the wedding destination and they realised that they were both in the party and they realised they were no longer going to be strangers, that's when it really started to pick up. And while there's obviously not the most friendly atmosphere between them, at least to begin with, I really enjoyed watching them together on screen from the very beginning. With regards to the actual events within the film, it's maybe not the most interesting. There's nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't say it's boring, but just in terms of the activities and the things they're planning, I didn't love it as much as I perhaps could have done. But it's not bad. It just isn't as exciting as some. But nevertheless, it works well and the pacing is good once it gets going. The characters are well written. The interactions between the characters I liked as well. And in general, I don't actually have any complaints about this. But my cat might. Yeah, the setting is really appealing. Like many films of this nature, like many Reel One films, this was filmed in British Columbia, and it's gorgeous. Visually, really beautiful. So it ticks pretty much all of the right boxes. The only thing that makes it less than perfect is the fact that some of the parts of the narrative are maybe just a little boring, not the most interesting, but thankfully the characters are likable. So even when the narrative or the specifics of the narrative are maybe not the most fascinating, I'm still emotionally attached to the characters and wanting to follow their journey and wanting the best for them. So there's plenty there to keep me engaged. A Wedding to Remember is a pretty good film, and if it sounds like a story that might appeal to you, if you're looking for something about weddings, something that's quite an easy watch with some likeable characters and good performances and really nice locations, then A Wedding to Remember is one that I'd say is worth looking out for.